What's up, guys? Thought I'd make another episode of America Based with Dr. Freedom. And looky here, Dr. Freedom's in his favorite lab coat, the Stand Up for Your Rights lab coat that my brother bought me. And so I'm going to show you guys today about Greg Anderson. He's an amazing American who many of you haven't heard of yet, so I'm going to introduce you to him. He was actually Okay, so my studio team isn't pulling today. Just kidding. That would be so nice one day. But until then, I'm happy to be able to get my information out there using just my table and a little bit of time that I have. But really, though, I wanted to tell you guys about this guy because not only was he epic enough to say what he said and stand by it when his officers ahead of him in command asked him to take down his video once it was going viral, but he's still making videos, he's still speaking his mind, he's still speaking the truth, he's still on the side of the American people, and God fucking bless him for that. So I have nothing but good vibes to send to this guy. I also have an offer if he is looking for a job, new career, place to live. I got land in Southern California, and I would love for nothing more than him and his family to set up camp there. I would not ever charge them a single dime. Shout out to you, by the way, Officer Chavo. I got the same situation set up for you, or my boy Sundar in the military, and anyone else who's stuck in one of those two fields. And if I got love for you, reach out, talk to me, reach out to somebody who has love for you, your family, whoever. Realize that you're not in this alone. I know it can feel like that because pride can kind of box you into your own little cubicle of life, and you'll think that, well, if I don't get my paychecks, no one's going to feed me, and that is the biggest lie you could ever fucking swallow. We are a tribal peoples, however much our tribes have been dissected and sequestered. We are still a tribal people, and the beautiful thing about today is you don't have to be of the same ethnicity as somebody to feel tribally like them. And case in point, for those of you who haven't checked out this man's GoFundMe page, he has $433,000 last I checked. From all over the world, people valuing freedom, valuing liberty, valuing people who stick up for the people. And so, without further ado, I just want to get into this. But if you do have a channel, or if you have a Gmail account, even if you're seeing this on social media, you have a channel. All you have to do is go and start it on YouTube. It takes about 30 seconds, and you can start putting up your own information, start fighting this censorship battle that we're seeing waged against us. And why it's so crucial is that I actually live in Santa Cruz County, which is the county that Susan Wojcicki, the CEO of YouTube, was actually educated in. And she, yes, went to UCSC, otherwise known as the University of Confused Spoiled Children. Not all, but most. Let's be honest. You guys are some fucking out there Fruit Loops. And for those of you who don't know, as if the Californian educational system isn't disgusting as is, the University of California of Santa Cruz is the most entitled, the most spoiled, the wealthiest kids in the entire UC system. So don't go looking at UCLA. That's lots of transports. UC Santa Cruz is where the people who need their little fear bubble go, and it's just a very interesting sect of our country. But anyways, Susan Wojcicki took it upon herself not only to say earlier this week that anybody who contradicts the WHO will be banned and their videos will be taken down. The Chinese WHO, which our country doesn't want anything to do with. And that's her stance, you know? Why not? As if, you know, she was raised in communist China or something. But anyways, I could be angry at beta male pretending females all fucking day, and I don't want to get sidetracked. But I do want to talk about this beautiful alpha male here who is reminding any officer out there who's currently lost that your job is not to destroy the Constitution. Your job is not to piss on the American people. Your job is to protect and to serve the American people and the Constitution. You don't have any other fucking jobs. That is your job. And so I know you don't want to hear that from me, but you have to fucking hear it from him. If you want to change the channel and stay in your cucked little bubble, go and do it, but I'm going to show you some truth right here.
I'm compelled to make this video. I've been in law enforcement for 10 years, and I'm speaking to my peers, other fellow officers, people in any kind of law enforcement position. I've seen officers nationwide enforcing tyrannical orders against the people, and I'm hoping it's the minority of officers.
On that note, can somebody please start up a Facebook group called like Garbage Cops or Garbage Americans, and we can start putting up video clips, whether they're a cop or not, of people who are policing their fellow man and telling them when to wear masks, when not to wear masks, when social distancing should happen. People who are telling other people what to fucking do. We need to start documenting those people and making them infamous until they either change their ways and apologize to the American people, or they go and move to somewhere else that is in line with their values. But, oh, and also anybody who owns a small business, I am dying to hang out at your small business with my phone on Facebook Live plugged into a wall so we don't miss any footage, and do my best to make any cop that comes in telling you that you don't have a right to feed your family so that he can continue to feed his family. That shit just cannot stand, and we need to do everything we can to make those guys' faces go fucking viral until cops start realizing, like, hey, there are consequences to being a garbage human being. And anyways, don't want to get sidetracked. This guy's message is beautiful, and if you want to check out the whole video in its entirety, it looks like it's on this channel called Tips to Fix. That's the number 2, and has 102,000 views, so I hope it keeps going. But it's just crazy to me that this video has been pulled and continues to get pulled despite how much he put on the line to keep it going. But anyways, that's what the technocrats feel is appropriate. They don't like the First Amendment. And by the way, if anyone out there, being that this world is not that big, knows Susan Wojcicki, and maybe you could shoot me a message like, hey, she really is that stupid. She's not evil. She actually likes people. I would love to know that. I'd have a hard time believing it, but I would love to know if anyone knows her personally, if you could tell me why she is the way she is, why the technocrats are the way they are. One of my best friends growing up, his older sister is married to, so I'm not going to say the exact position, but somebody very, very high up in one of these social media companies, and he and her and their whole family is epic. So I know that at the end of the day, a lot of people are really fucking cool people, but they don't see a way out of the current situation that they're in. And so we all need to collectively reach out in any way that we can and inspire people to act with integrity, inspire people to act with agency. Stop doing as you're told. Continue to think critically. Continue to do what you feel is right. Continue to do what you're allowed to do based off of our Constitution, not based off of what CNN and all the other fucking idiots are telling you to do.
But I'm not sure anymore, because every time I turn on the television, every time I look to the internet, I'm seeing people arrested or cited for going to church, for traveling on the roadways, for going surfing, opening their businesses, going to the park with their families, or doing nails out of their own house, using their own house as a place of business, and having undercover agents go there and arrest them and charge them with what? With a crime? I don't know what crime people are committing by doing nails in their own house, but we're seeing this more and more and more, and we need to start looking at ourselves as officers and thinking, is what I'm doing right? Now, I want to remind you that regardless of where you stand on the coronavirus, we don't have the authority to do those things to people just because a mayor or a governor tells you otherwise. I don't care if it's your sergeant or your chief of police. We don't get to violate people's constitutional rights because somebody in our chain of command tells us otherwise. It's not how this country works. Those are de facto arrests. You know, we're violating people's rights and taking money from them, or even worse, arresting them and depriving them of their freedom when they are exercising their constitutional rights. So let's talk about that. Let's read something right here off of the Declaration of Independence. All men are created equal. Among these, we have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their power from the consent of the governed, meaning our power and any government official's power is derived from the people, okay? We don't hold power over our citizens. It's contradictory to everything that our country stands for. And this is what I'm seeing. First Amendment rights, telling people they can't go to church, freedom of religion, okay? Telling people they can't protest, freedom of assembly. Fourth Amendment violation.
On that church note, by the way, I just saw somebody share on Facebook today the line about reminding people to be subject to their rulers and their authorities. Like, do you fucking know who Jesus was? He's the world's most famous rebel. Do you know what he did to the Pharisees? Do you know how they felt about him? Do you know that they were the authorities in the day? Do you know he flipped their fucking tables and said, fuck this shit? He came to heal the fucking evil that was being done on earth. He didn't come to subject himself to it. So if you're a Christian out there who's repeating that text, go fuck yourself. And admit to yourself that you're not a Christian, you're just a cuck, you're pathetic, and nobody wants to hear you talk.
Illegal traffic stops to check for papers. What are you, the Gestapo? Is this 1930s Nazi Germany? You don't get to stop people unless you have reasonable suspicion or probable cause that they have committed a crime. And I know people that have personally been stopped saying, we want to see papers showing that you're essential. That is not how our job works, okay? What really has been pissing me off lately is the fact that these officers that are going out here and enforcing these tyrannical orders, what they're doing is they're putting my job and my safety at risk. Because what you're doing is you're widening the gap between public trust and law enforcement officers. And what that's going to do is it's going to, I mean, look at what's happened to law enforcement in the last 10 years. Less and less public trust, and more often than not, that is a result of isolated incidents that get blown out of proportion. They're not isolated anymore. They're happening every single day. And the thing that I want you guys to realize is that our power that we hold as law enforcement officers is nothing more than a facade. It's a badge and a gun. And people, you don't realize, if you haven't lived in anarchy, if you haven't seen combat, things can be stripped from people in a heartbeat. And that's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid that these actions are going to wake a sleeping giant, i.e. the American people, okay? They are going to be put in a position where they won't have their rights trampled anymore. And us as law enforcement...
And yeah, we're here. We're here. We're in that position. Our rights will not be trampled anymore. This is a fucking America. We have a constitution. If you don't like our constitution, get the fuck out. Go somewhere where you like their constitution and quit trying to make America into China. It's not okay. Not even a fucking little bit.
Officers we'll have our ability to enforce the law stripped from us in about 10 minutes. Okay? I think what is going to happen if this continues is we're going to see bloodshed in the streets, okay? I don't want to see bloodshed in the streets on either side of this coin. I don't want to see fellow officers get injured or killed.
And by the way, neither do I, guys. Even you beta males out there who are fucking muffling under your breath all sorts of fucking curse words and nasty shit. Like, even though you're putting yourself on the other team, I know you're just doing that because you're a scared little fucking coward who doesn't have any integrity left in your body. You don't have any health left in your body. You guys are just trolls. And my heart goes out to you. Like, what I really want is to treat you for postural alignment so you can get back into the gym, get your testosterone flowing again so you can be a happy male human being. That's what I want. I don't want you to join the other team and start acting like I'm the fucking problem, but I still see you guys out there. So before we let lines be drawn on not just cops versus non-cops, but people who like freedom versus people who hate freedom and want just safety till their death, like, we are all on the same team, guys. And those of you who want safety until your death, actually check out Liberty Gardens Project on Facebook. Like us. or else you ain't black. And basically, all I'm trying to say there is Liberty Gardens Project is a way. No, I just had to say that. I can't believe Joe Biden said that shit the other day. But Liberty Gardens is a way where you can find yourself a little plot, make yourself a little garden, and be self-sufficient. Once you have food sovereignty, then you never need to leave your house again. You never need to come out into society and point your finger at people who aren't making you safe. Because your life is your life. My life is not your life. I get to live my life the way I fucking want. You get to live your life the way you want. So if you want to live your entire life in a bubble and just be safe until your death, awesome, dude. The death count is still what it is. 1 death per person. And if you want to die as a scared little fucking coward, that's between you and Satan, you know? Because you're not going to the pearly gates if you're fucking suffering with the sin of cowardice. Not even for 1 fucking second. No one's even going to give you a shuttle ride up there. You're going to be sitting begging for a ticket like a fucking cuck.
And I certainly don't want to see citizens get injured or killed. And I promise you, most of you out there doing these tyrannical acts against our citizens, you're not ready for combat. You're not mentally or physically ready for combat in the first place.
Not even
I promise you don't want to go through that, and I hope I never have to go through that again. You don't get to just say, well, I'm doing this because I was told to do so, or I'm following orders, or I need to keep this job. Guess what? I need to keep this job more than anybody. I have 3 young children. I have 2 houses. Like, I have the same sob story that the rest of you guys have. But my personal choices and my living arrangements, no matter what they are, don't allow me to trample on people's rights. And I don't understand why that concept is so hard for people to understand. Listen, you need to stand up for what's right. You need to, if you're part of a department or an agency that is asking people or asking their officers or their deputies to impose on people's rights and infringe on their freedoms, you need to step up and say, no, that's not me. That's not what I signed up for, and that's going against my oath. And if that costs you your job, so be it. At least you'll be able to look at yourself in the mirror tonight. I've already expressed this to my department. And luckily for me, I come from a department that I feel like my chain of command shares my view, but I don't care what department you're part of or what your chain of command thinks. You don't get to trample on people's liberty. And so,
And guys, that shouldn't even need to be said, but it needs to be repeated ad nauseum until everybody fucking gets it. You don't get to trample on other people's liberties. That is called entitlement. It's fucking disgusting, and it should not be tolerated for 1 fucking half of 1 second.
Special operations veteran, I fought on the streets of Iraq under the U.S. government's guise of freedom. And
you guys hear that? Words matter. Under the U.S. government's guise of freedom. Guise of freedom. He's waking up to so much shit right now, and not only should every police officer in America should see this, every veteran in America should see this. Every prospective veteran, anybody thinking of joining the service, it is all bullshit, guys. They don't give 2 flying fucks about freedom elsewhere or here. They hate freedom. They hate anybody who's in the working class. These people planning these wars, these fucking beta male chicken hawks. It's fucking disgusting, and we need to stop playing along with it. This is probably one of the reasons why this video got banned, because not only is it detrimental to their whole scamdemic, but it's also detrimental to just the military-industrial complex and so many fucking things this guy's speaking truth to power on. Greg Anderson, God fucking bless you for serving our country against any reasonable measure to actually make freedom. Our government goes and just brings terror all over the world. And you had the fucking honor and courage to come back and say what you needed to say and speak your truth. And I seriously want to hug this guy. No homo, I just fucking love other men or women, anybody who fucking feels that freedom matters, feels that freedom is important, feels that our Constitution matters. I fucking love you. And guess what? Hugs do not kill people. Shirt coming soon. And we need to stand up to this, guys. It's fucking gross. I am a science major. I fucking love science. This is not science. And even if it were, even if there was a virus that they cooked up in their fucking lab that was actually really deadly, we still have the fucking Constitution. This is still America. Wake the fuck up.
And I'm telling you what, the American people are going to be, you are going to wake a sleeping giant.
You already did.
And they're going to fight 10 times harder for their freedom on their soil than anything you've ever seen before. And if that's something you're willing to face, then keep trampling on people's rights. But I promise you, the American spirit of defiance is going to rise again, and it's going to be a big problem for our country. So I'll leave you with this, something that I learned as an E-nothing in the Army. No matter what situation you're put in, if you look inside yourself and ask yourself one question, am I doing the right thing? You ask yourself that, you know the answer. And no amount of money or no order or law or anything should be able to make you go against doing the right thing. So I'm imploring
And he didn't need to tell you that. Your parents should have told you that. If your parents didn't tell you that, just next time you talk to your parents, tell them that your boy Benton said, y'all can go fuck yourselves. Because any kid that is not raised knowing that integrity is the first and foremost thing that is important, always, in every fucking situation, integrity matters more than fucking anything. The fact that you guys need to hear this from this fucking beautiful man is fucking gross, but at the same time, God bless you. And if you are hearing this for the first time, or if it's really sinking in for the first time, don't let it ever sink out, guys, because integrity is the only fucking thing that matters. Never go against your integrity. Ever.
officers to look inside themselves and ask themselves, is this what I want to be doing to my citizens? And I think the answer is clear. And if we all stand up together, guess what? It'll be a non-issue, no factor, because people...
You hear that? If we all stand up together, it'll be a non-issue. All of this will be a non-issue. It will go away in seconds. If all of y'all just wake the fuck up to the fact that you guys have been herded into a false fucking paradigm where if you fucking go out and you're just healthy, that you're the problem. You're an asymptomatic carrier. Guess what, guys? There has never been a scientific study ever that has proved that healthy people get people sick. Never, ever. They've been saying that bullshit since we were little kids, that, oh, you're the most contagious in the first couple days of getting the flu before you show symptoms. Go fuck yourself. If you are that dumb to believe that just breathing is more contagious than having actual phlegm, actual mucus, actual fucking symptoms from suffering from a virus, you are the dumbest motherfucker on the planet, and you should not even be allowed to speak. Ever. Healthy people don't kill people. And even if someone's unhealthy in there around you, like when I was working in a hospital for fucking 10 years or in an emergency room for 5 years, I was around lots of unhealthy people. Guess what? I had the ability to get sunshine on my off days. I had the ability to take care of my immunity. And I had the ability to watch every flu season pass and not fucking get it because my immunity hormone D was on point. I had a diet filled with vitamin A, and I get vitamin C regularly. So I don't need to trip on what other people are doing because I'm taking care of me. It's called personal fucking responsibility, guys.
People and law enforcement will be united like we should be.
Exactly. He doesn't say much else after that. Law enforcement and the people should be united, guys. People who are afraid and people who are not afraid should be united. We should all be united because we are the working class. And when you stand up for the working class, you get protected. Whether you're reaching out to somebody in your friends and family group and just saying like, hey, my higher up in the chain of command is making me go against my morals, then they're going to help you out, guys. And if you aren't helped out by them, then come public. You know, or come public anyways. If you want to make waves like this guy's making waves, God fucking bless you for that. But don't just fucking do as you're told. Don't think that it's okay that in putting food on your family's table, you're able to take out the ability for many other people in your community to do the same thing. It's not all right. You aren't more important than them. None of us are more important than the next person. That's why we all need to do what we can to take care of each other. And I'm not coming at this from a place of like, hey, I fucking hate old people. my heart goes out to all the old people across this country right now who might be actually getting visited by their grandkids, by their daughters, by their sons, but instead they're being sheltered off in a fucking closet until they die for their own good. Like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, guys. If you actually care about somebody, you show up and you show them love, you give them love, you bring them healthy food, you give them tips on how they can improve their immunity if you really want them to live longer. You don't fucking shelter them off in a closet and tell them that you're gonna keep them safe until they die. That is hatred, guys. That is not fucking love. Not for 1 second is that love. And this video, I just can't help but not mention, too many people haven't checked out House Resolution 6666. And no, I'm not trolling, guys. That's 4 6s, not 3 like the devil usually does. But it's a fucking creepy ass measure, and you guys need to be aware of that. And so just to finish up, guys, get a little closer here. I am fucking livid. Like, never been so angry in my life about anything as just going out makes me now. Like, going out into the city is normally one of the highlights of my day. I fucking love people. I love seeing smiling faces. I love seeing happy Americans. And that's largely why I got into healthcare in the first place. Realized it wasn't about healthcare. It was about wealth care. It was about maintaining illness, not healing people. So I had to get the fuck out. I got into holistic health. And now I've been doing that because I love people and I want y'all to feel better, do better, and live lives of your own choosing. Empowered lives. Not lives where you're fucking running around scared, giving all your critical thinking away to groups that do not give two flying fucks about you. And actually, that's not even true. They do care about you, but only in the way that they hate you. They fucking despise you. They do not like the working class. And that is why they constantly try to keep us down under their shoes so they can continue to walk comfortably on top of all of us. They don't have to work. They don't have to struggle. They don't have to do anything like we do. They just sit there and collect and create fucking fear-mongering bullshit, which is completely baseless to keep us where we're at. And it's time that you all wake the fuck up to that and realize that there are a lot of people out there who want to stand up for their rights. There are a lot of people who want to stand up for your rights, whether or not you want to stand up for your rights. So quit fucking around. If you want to live in a cucked nation where everyone's scared and everyone does as they're told, move to fucking China, guys. It's a fucking country that's willingly accepting communists all the fucking time. If you actually believe in freedom and peace and security and all the other things that come along with this beautiful nation, then stay here and make this nation better by protecting our people, protecting the working class, and protecting the Constitution, guys. I'm going to do another video of this guy's second video because who knows how long it's going to be around, and we all need to do what we can to fight this censorship. It's not right that videos can be censored. Did he say anything profane? Did he say anything that was wrong? No. He said just how he felt about the tyranny that's being practiced against our citizenry, and that was pulled by Susan Wojcicki and her fucking evil crew. So I'm like too angry to continue this video. I really need to like go and finish my J, pound this beer, and think about the sandwich that I bought. But guys, please wake the fuck up. It's getting fucking lonely out there. And I realize that there are counties that everybody feels like me, and I fucking really want to move there, but I can't just leave behind all these fucking libtards and all these fucking cucks to just continue to make the state that I fucking grew up in worse and worse and worse and worse. It just, I can't stand like that. I can't allow that. I mean, there's multiple countries that I could move to that are already open, that are willingly accepting Bentons, and I have many places that I could go and just live my life in paradise and sip martinis on the beach and do what I really would love to do. But there's this thing I have called a conscience, and I can't fucking bring myself to do that. I'm here because I care about you and your fellow Americans, and if you have a grandparent or a son or somebody in your life who has autoimmunity, reach out to me. I'm happy to give you tips and happy to empower them or you to the extent of my ability, just with holistic health knowledge, guys. The truth is always simple. the truth of how to protect yourself from the flu, the truth of how to heal from cancer, the truth of how to heal from autoimmunity. It's all the same truth. Adhere to our circadian biology, adhere to our natural state, start taking in nutrients that protect us against from disease, and you're gonna be okay. If you don't do those things, you're fucked. And yeah, you might you might be able to eke out some sort of an existence by listening to doctors and dealing with the placebo effect and going home thinking that what was just prescribed to you was in your best interest. But guys, it fucking wasn't. This isn't about healing you. It's allopathic, disease-based illness maintenance. It's not healthcare, guys. It's fucking wealth care. And you need to wake the fuck up to this shit before it's too late. Not just for your sake, but for your kids' sake, for my kids' sake, for all of our future's sake. Wake the fuck up.